What's going on? You're in the Beat Sessions, the place for all things music. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Let's talk about Jimmy Buffett and this new record, Equal Strain on All Parts. He released that on November 3rd. This is studio album number 32 for the King of the Parrotheads and his follow-up to 2020's Songs You Don't Know by Heart. That's a collection of new acoustic recordings based off of previously released material. Put that out in November of 2020. Also dropped some new stuff in May of that year. Life on the Flip Side. It's for those of you who know me, it's kind of a wonder that I am talking about Jimmy Buffett. Many of you might even be shocked that I'm doing this album review. And I will admit, I have actually, prior to doing this review, never listened to a Jimmy Buffett record in its entirety. He's one of these guys that I feel is a victim of popular radio, mainstream radio, where all you hear are the hits, just one after the other, and you never get any deep cuts. You never really get to hear what Jimmy Buffett is all about. You just get a greatest hits list that reads like a happy hour menu at Applebee's, to be completely honest with you. So I wasn't fair to Jimmy Buffett. I will admit that. And so to prepare for this review, I'm renovating my house, redoing the floor, a tedious task. And so I listened to A1A and I listened to Volcano because I'm also a big Dolphins fan. Of course, they play Fins at every Dolphins home game. Listen to Changes in Latitude, Changes in Attitude. And then I dove into Equal Strain on All Parts. And it reaffirmed what I already knew, that I'm not really that big of a fan of Jimmy Buffett's music, but I'm a huge fan of the man and the brand and what he represents. I mean, he's gone now, unfortunately. So he is certainly taken up that legendary status, in my opinion. The king of escapism. And who doesn't want to? Who doesn't want to get away from it all? He lived a life that embodied that. I mean, I think most of us would, probably trade a month to have just a day in the life of Jimmy Buffett. And that's what he came to represent. That's what he will always represent, is that easy side of life, that side of life that, you pause to smell the roses and take a deep breath. Maybe it's the sunshine, maybe it's the ocean in front of you, maybe it's the margarita in your hand, who knows? But just, taking a second to slow down and to enjoy the simple things in life, because we really don't do it. In the average American lifestyle, the day-to-day routine especially, it's just a grind, just, one thing after the next. And I would argue that most of us don't take that quality time to really just enjoy being alive, to just enjoy, again, whatever simple thing might be in front of us, whether it's just a warm cup of coffee or it's the breeze blowing, through your hair, not mine. But a sunset, an ocean, all of these simple things, all of these pleasurable things that we don't allocate enough time to. That's what I really enjoy about Jimmy Buffett, especially working for the guys that I do. I work for two great owners, both of them a lot of time spent in Key West, a lot of time spent in Baja as well. My one owner in particular, Jimmy Buffett, is someone who's very important to him, his lifestyle, his perspective, et cetera, et cetera. And so I enjoyed this little trip down the rabbit hole with Jimmy Buffett. And while I will probably never be the hugest fan of his music, it's fun listening to a guy who I just didn't realize how much he inspired the likes of so many country artists that I like. And I think of guys like Alan Jackson, Kenny Chesney, a little more contemporary like Zach Brown. He's had a massive impact on the world of country music. And, there's moments, those deep cuts. I mean, there's really some songs that I love, and, nothing off the top of my head that I can name, because again, this is all relatively new to me, but I enjoy those times where, his brand of tropic rock, call it what you will. I really like when he gets into like that Bourbon Street Bayou sound. Does that in a couple of moments on Equal Strain on All Parts. But, the calypso, the incorporation of all these different genres that are based out of the Caribbean. A lot of it coming from West Africa and just sub-Saharan Africa as well. It's he really has an interesting style. I will give it to him. A very eclectic nature as far as putting together compositions, and even in just a simple 3 to 4 minute song, there can be a lot of different elements, uh, you know, deriving from all the different genres that I just mentioned. And somehow he finds a way to bring some of those oddities together. And I guess that's a big part of what made him so special, is that he himself was a walking, talking oddity, so to speak. He's getting ready to open up a tiki bar with my owners. He's he's someone that the margarita sort of runs anathema to what we're doing with the tiki bar, but there's still something about its place in culture that it is like that classic island drink. And he's the guy that made that happen. This collection of songs, I look at a song title like Fish Porn, and in the past, I've always maybe taken Jimmy Buffett a little too serious. Songs like Cheeseburger in Paradise, some of this other silly stuff. That's where I've been checked by multiple parrot heads over the years, where they're like, bro, you're taking it too serious. Like, you need to just take a deep breath and just relax and just mellow out and enjoy it. And it's almost to a degree where, like, I feel like a lot of these people have maybe even acknowledged that it's kind of silly and maybe even subpar considering some of the other stuff that he's written, because he really can be very insightful. The song Bubbles Up, I mean, you take a simple diving reference and all of a sudden he's turned it into an analogy for looking on the bright side of life. It's like when times are tough, just look for the bubbles, man. And just, you'll find the surface. It's those moments like that where, I really appreciate that side of Jimmy, where he can, we were talking about the Stones, previously here today. It's kind of that differentiation where, people are like, I want to hear about 80-year-old Mick Jagger's perspective on the world. And it's like, that's not what the Stones are about. Jimmy Buffett, to a certain degree, is all about perspective, that chill side of life, like always look on the bright side. And so Bubbles Up is a song that, that's more my kind of Jimmy Buffett versus the Fish Porn or the Cheeseburger in Paradise kind of Jimmy Buffett. But he's like every other human being. You take the good with the bad. And I'll level with you. I'm going to take most of this. I really actually enjoyed listening to this record. Your first song, University of Bourbon Street, talking about that reference, features the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. Just a great number. Big rolling piano, got that classic barroom feel just coming right out of the gate. Big jaunty feel. Great presence from the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. It's a really fun way to open up this record. Bubbles Up. Your second track, a gentle acoustic riff, creates this mellow, meditative mood. Just a big feel of nostalgia. I like the little bit of accordion that works in there, a little bit of that country flair. But again, that lighthearted mood and that analogy, I love when Jimmy Buffett is there in that zone. Audience of One is your third track. It's a groove right out of the gate, big island feel. I love the steel drums, breezy acoustic guitars on this. Get some congas in there. Get that Latin flamenco influence that he's bringing all of these things together in a really cool song that, I like the perspective and the message here, and especially when it comes to being creative. It's really important to pursue artistic endeavors for yourself, because honestly, at the end of the day, you might be the only person that ends up seeing, hearing, reading, whatever it might be. And so make sure that it's important to you. Your fourth song, My Gummy Just Kicked In. This is Jimmy Buffett. I'm good with this. And what I love about this is the backstory here. Chilling at a party with Paul McCartney and his wife, and Jimmy's noticing that Paul's wife is a little off, and he's just like, are you okay? And she's like, my gummy just kicked in. And so Paul McCartney, talking about the Stones earlier as well, playing with the Stones on their new record, playing with Jimmy Buffett on this track. I think it's a really cool number. Drums open with this high energy vocal. I love the energy of the track as well. You get this back and forth with the music, with the, like, as the vocal starts to work in on that first verse, and then it all comes together for the chorus. It's just equal parts rock, pop, country, and again, just right in your face from start to finish. Really cool song. Close Calls, your fifth track, upbeat bluegrass feel. Love the jaunty feel of this song. Fiddle and the slide are absolutely killer. Great components there. Equal Strain, On All Parts, your title track. Arpeggiated riff creates a dark, pensive mood. Homage to his grandpa. I really enjoy the saying. I think it's it's a saying that it's versatile, and I like that about it as well. I feel like given the connotation, you can apply it to certain situations and have it mean certain things. It's a pretty damn cool saying and a great title for the song and for the album. Like My Dog. Got a Billy Currington cover here. Like Galloping Percussion, steel drums. Not really overthinking it, doing too much outside of Billy's original there, but just giving it that Jimmy Buffett feel. T-Punch Cafe is your eighth song, featuring Angelique Kidjo. I love her. I love her presence on the song, what she's bringing to it. Just a great breezy world influence. Steel drums, the congas, light guitars and melodies, and it's great to see him team up with her. She's someone that I don't think she gets talked about enough in popular music, and she is phenomenal. It's great to see a lot of people working with her. Portugal, or PEI, featuring Lenny Gallant and Will Kimbrough. Really just nice mellow groove right out the gate, keeping this Latin influence, this world influence going, coming off of T-Punch Cafe. Really just like nice breezy strum on the guitar. The bachata is, if you're familiar with that genre, Bachata, that song I really feel like was rolling with that particular genre of music. Nobody Works on Friday, man, in a perfect world. Great blend of country and that bayou feel that I love that Jimmy Buffett really brings to the table very well. Fish Porn is your 11th track. Drums right out of the gate. Got this nice up-tempo rock feel to the song. But it takes a bit of a turn after that intro. It's got this like light country influence that really takes prominence. And this kind of like 80s alt feel. Imagine if you could blend like country with like college rock from the 80s. It's a very interesting thing that he's playing around with there. Johnny's Rum, your 12th track, arpeggiated riff and fiddle out the gate, pensive country tune. It's going to lead into your penultimate track, cover of Mary Black's Columbus. Got just a big time country ballad going to work here. And then your final track is a cover of Bob Dylan's Mozambique. And who better to sing that song with than Emmylou Harris, the person that Bob Dylan originally did that duet with. I absolutely love closing this record out with that number. I'm gonna vinyl pass this because I'm not that big of a Jimmy Buffett fan, as much as I did enjoy listening to this record. 14 songs at 53 minutes, little on the long side too. So there's that factor in as far as the vinyl package. But for you Parrot Heads, this is, I don't know if Jimmy Buffett is the type of guy to have stuff in the vault. I don't know if this is the last time that we're going to hear from him, or, if the individual that has controlling rights over his estate is willing to, dig through a catalog of music. Maybe there's some stuff there that an individual is willing to put together. Who knows? This could be it. This could be the final send-off, but it's an appropriate one. So I'm going to vinyl please it for you Parrot Heads. I don't think I'm going to buy this record, but for those of you people who have spent a lifetime or even just a couple of years being a fan of Jimmy Buffett, again, not really a big fan of the music, but huge fan of the man, the lifestyle, and what he represents. So I hope you enjoyed this record. If you give it a go, I hope you find this review helpful as well. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all the things to help us blow this project up in 2023. And stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.